Hey everybody! So you'll notice I'm back in my blacks today because we're going to be taking another look at Hamlet. And you may be wondering, Mr. G, why Hamlet again? Didn't we do that one already? We did one, yes. Now we're going to do a different one. So the reason we're doing Hamlet multiple times, and I think I might make this just every Friday we look at a different thing from Hamlet, is because Hamlet is arguably Shakespeare's greatest play, definitely his most famous, and again, it has a lot of adaptations and a lot of interpretations have been done of this over the years, over the centuries. Today we are actually not looking at a speech from Hamlet himself, but rather the ghost. So take a moment, look down in the description below for the monologue, pause me, take a moment, read it, enjoy it, and come on back. So today we are looking at the ghost. As I talked about last time, the ghost appears and tells Hamlet, hey, I'm the ghost of your dead dad. My brother, your uncle, the current king, killed me. Please avenge my death. Thank you. And then Hamlet, of course, is like, yes, gonna do this. And then he goes, wait, maybe this wasn't actually my father. Maybe this was some kind of spirit tempting me to do an evil act. But we do know, based on what ends up happening later in the play, this is Hamlet's dad. It is all true. Now, here's the thing about the ghost. The ghost has basically 3 scenes that they work in. The first one where they appear, they just kind of poof into existence. They're just kind of there. The next one is where they talk with Hamlet, and they actually go through what's going on with them, where they are in the grand scheme of the afterlife, and what's going to happen, and what Hamlet needs to do. And then the last time they appear is very quickly in a scene between Hamlet and his mother, and basically he prevents Hamlet from being violent toward his mom. So, really and truly, this is probably, of all the characters we've looked at in these monologues so far, the character with the least amount of time to do what they need to do. So that actually poses a whole bunch of other challenges. So, from the character's perspective, the ghost only has this scene to convince Hamlet of everything he needs to convince him of. He needs to convince Hamlet that, yes, I am your father. Yes, your uncle killed me. And you need to avenge my death. And so he actually goes into a whole bunch of other stuff explaining what happened, how he died, how his brother Claudius got away with the murder, all of that. But this line is one of the opening bits of that whole scene, and essentially what he's doing is, this is who I am, and this is what's happening to me. Now, if you take a look at how Shakespeare's era kind of believed of the afterlife, you had heaven, you had the bad place, and then you had something called purgatory. And purgatory essentially was a place where you went if you weren't bad enough for the bad place, but weren't quite good enough for heaven, or if something happened to you before you died that you couldn't, confess your sins or whatever. And so basically a soul would stay there until it was good enough to go to heaven. And here's what Hamlet's father is trying to do in this, is he's trying to basically tell Hamlet that everything in his situation is so bad right now that the only way that it can possibly get better is if Hamlet avenges his death. Now, in looking at this from the literary perspective, without this scene, without this character, this play doesn't happen. Hamlet definitely does not go after Claudius unless the ghost pushes him. Hamlet demonstrates multiple times throughout the rest of this play that he really is not a man of action, he's more a man of thought. And the ghost is really the one who first spurs him on to, no, you gotta do something about this. Something is wrong, you've got to work at it. And so, as an actor, what we're going to do is we're going to take that kind of urgency, because the other thing about Hamlet's father's ghost is that he can only appear at night. Once the morning sun rises, he has to return to his punishment in the afterlife. So that lends a sense of urgency as the character. And again, knowing what we know about this, Hamlet's father has to be very urgent. He has to be very over the top in his description and in his emotion to get his son to get up off his butt and do something. So we're going to take a look at this then real quick. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. But that I am forbid to tell the secrets of my prison house, I could a tale unfold whose lightest word would harrow up thy soul, freeze thy young blood, make thy two eyes like stars start from their spheres, thy knotted and combined locks to part, and each particular hair to stand on end like the quills of the fretful porcupine. But this eternal blazon must not be to ears of flesh and blood. List, list, oh list, if thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. And from here, Hamlet's father will go on to explain that Claudius killed him, and that Hamlet really does need to go on and do things. But this is the first section of it. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Again, I will be back on Monday with new monologues, and we'll see you then. Bye!